Okay, stay with me on this one. I feel like I'm breaking so many rules just by reviewing it. Like, I don't normally review Flash games, because Flash games aren't usually commercially released, they're just put up on a website where anyone can play them. More of an issue is I have a really hard time classifying this as a game. There's almost no interactivity. But it is being sold and categorized as a game, and even if it was made in Flash, it's put up for sale on the developer's website, so technically I can get away with reviewing this. Now why am I going to such lengths to include it? Because it's hilarious. But before we begin, this is a hentai game, and as such, well, I think this disclaimer says it best.
We stage with using flash and flicker. Some of people may have their nose open. Succinct words from the developers of Hentai Boost 2007 DX.
Seriously, of all the lines you could have botched, the one that you did botch, to the point where no one has any idea what you're trying to say, is the one that can help prevent seizures. At least I think that's what it's warning me about. It could just be warning me that it's an adult game and, I don't know, something about nosebleeds? Japan, dial down the crazy for just 1 minute so I know whether I need to consult my doctor.
The premise is that you've been contacted by some woman in some kind of space uniform in the wake of an alien invasion, and it turns out you're the one final hope for humanity, thanks to a weapon we industrious humans have developed called Orga Boost.
On a side note, if you're watching this, Mom, don't watch this, Mom. Yeah, so as you can imagine, this is a weapon powered by... I can't say it, it's so crazy. And yeah, that means the objective of this game is to save the world through...
A veil? Do they even know what this means? Before you really get into it, this woman asks you some weird questions.
How tall are you?
Okay, I'm Canadian, and we do have the metric system here, but I don't know my height and weight in centimeters and kilograms. We use feet and pounds like the Americans, so let me go look this stuff up. Okay, that seems about right.
How much do you weigh?
Mm-hmm.
What's your blood type?
What? I don't know what my blood type is. Does this actually go into a formula or something? Does my blood type impact my technique? This is the only part of the game that's actually interactive. The rest of it is... well, you can sort of consider it interactive since the goal is to gratify yourself in time with the game and finish at the exact moment it tells you to, but obviously the game has no way of keeping track of whether you actually do. So, okay, let's get down to business, I guess. Tell me again why we're doing this.
2 hours ago, an enemy started to attack all at once. We received reports that most main cities in the world were already destroyed. At this rate, the probability which human beings can survive is 0.00001%.
Everyone I've ever known and loved is dead or dying or will in every likelihood be dead very soon. Oh, this is so hot!
When the pulse of your excitement and pleasure reaches the climax, Orga Boost is fired. The fate in the world is in your hand.
You know, I get the distinct feeling here that whoever wrote this line made an intentional double entendre and the voice actor didn't even get it.
Take your underclothes off and move to masturbation. You okay? We can see your mental signal and state through the internet in your room. Masturbate relaxedly. Start masturbation.
Round 1.
I've got nothing here, folks. I can't possibly share any kind of perspective here that isn't already going through your minds. There's no joke I can possibly crack that will make this any funnier. There's no observation I can make that will make this concept graspable. We have a game where a fully clothed woman in a space uniform with a thick as bamboo Japanese accent that you could barely even understand is robotically telling you to get yourself off in order to save the entire human race from extinction at the hands of xenocidal alien conquerors.
Don't be hurry. Do your best.
Okay, let's get something straight. Just because adult-oriented video games are not the sort of thing I'm into doesn't mean I don't understand the concept. I do, which is more than I can say for whoever developed this game, because there is nothing provocative about it. They just seem to think that people would get their rocks off entirely on the premise of blowing up aliens. But then this is Japan we're talking about. I would not be surprised if this niche exists. I just can't for the life of me or my family understand why.
There are multiple chapters to this game. While by far the weirdest is the first and main chapter, there are some other more mundane ones. One where you talk to a maid, and one to a disembodied voice.
Why are you snotty? I can hear your rush of excitement.
Is anyone else really turned on right now?
I have a butterfly in my stomach.
Sure, I guess what you said makes sense. Oh, here comes the actually interactive part of this chapter. So many options.
I don't have a penis, but have a vagina. It's a vessel which is made to take your penis.
Thanks for the tip.
If it reaches the uterus, a girl gets pregnant.
Why are you doing this? If you're trying to be arousing, you're going about this way too clinically. There's nothing hot about this subject. The way they keep explaining it, it's like they think you don't know the most basic elements of how procreation works. And if that's the case, you're a little kid, or mentally challenged, and should not be the target market of a hentai game.
But for the sake of my own blood pressure, I'm going to assume this is not a hentai game for kids. It seems just as plausible to me that whoever made this had absolutely no idea what they were doing. Yeah, go on. Talk dirty to me.
You want to put your penis in my vagina? Your masturbation is my mind.
What the heck?
You always run away from girls' masturbation. But you're wrong.
What is going on? What are you even trying to say? Is this some kind of mind control technique? Oh, come on. Now you're providing visual aid. Was this game made as part of someone's homework assignment? This is the least attractive thing you could do. Sports Illustrated and Maxim don't publish diagrams of the epidermis.
I feel your penis comes to my back of uterus. You're so snotty.
So basically, Hentai Boost 2007 DX is the game for you if you've ever wanted to vicariously screw a diagram. What in the biscuit of flatulence is going on? Did my character print an anatomy chart and stick his dong in it? Or is he doing someone with totally see-through skin? Does he have X-ray vision? Either way, I don't want to see this! Go back to the space mission chapter.
I'm watching you. Relax. Good. Marvelous.
Yes, that's one way to put it.
Let's get on the ball.
I didn't mention this earlier, but it describes this character as Elder Sister. And I honestly don't know if that's just a title, like if she's in some kind of weird militaristic space religion, or if she's actually supposed to be your sister. That kind of makes a distinction to me between a game that's hilariously misguided and one that's skull-crushingly awful. Oh, and in case there isn't enough creepiness to it, in the middle of coaching you, Space Girl tells you your friends are here looking at the monitors and patches them through.
Are you goofy? Masturbation is a piece of cake. Or do you want to ejaculate into me like before? While I was sleeping, you did that. You dirty cocksucker.
What? Why would they even put that in there?
When it comes to this, I'll help you too. How is it?
Okay, so they decide that if you're gonna get yourself off, someone should at least take their clothes off, but then they don't actually show you. I mean, I'm not complaining that I don't get to see cartoon jubblies, but what's the point?
I get it. You feel creepy. But it's okay.
Oh, okay, it's okay. Thanks for the reassurance there, naked red-eyed space girl who may or may not be my sister. Oh, and then after 1 minute of exposed jugs that you can't even see, she covers them back up again, so... With all her clothes back on for the climax, I once again am going to have to stress that the developers expected the player to rub one out entirely on the premise as the only way to stop aliens.
Ejaculation with 10 seconds to go. Yes, 9, yes, 8, okay, 7, this is it. 6, 5, shoot from my cue. 3, never knit. 2, 1, fire!
Obviously, the game has no way of keeping track if you actually finished at the same time, so it just assumes you win.
Your mission has completed.
Which is good, because there's no way I'm going to play this game the way it's meant to be played. That's Hentai Boost 2000 DX. Good night!
You did a perfect job. You're a hero! Save the world with Mercy Vision, aren't you?
Ah, stupid elder sister, if that is your real name. Okay, if you have to go around telling everyone I saved the world, fine, I appreciate that, but couldn't you have left out the details about how I saved the world? It makes leaving the house really awkward. You know, some of us have extended family to visit at Thanksgiving, and the last thing I want to hear out of Grandma's mouth is how thankful she is that her grandson blew up aliens with his junk.